A team of researchers, including Harvard astronomer AVI Loeb, may have discovered traces of an interstellar object in the ocean. Loeb believes this object could potentially have alien origins. The world remains an incredible place, filled with undiscovered wonders like subterranean cities and harsh, isolated terrains that humanity has yet to fully explore or conquer. Antarctica has fascinated people for centuries, from the legendary explorers of the 1800s to the daring scientists of today. Its frozen expanse continues to captivate us with its mysteries. As one of the last uncharted wildernesses on Earth, Antarctica is a realm of extremes and a master at preserving secrets. Spanning an area approximately 1.5 times the size of the United States and holding 90% of the world's ice, this icy continent is also home to strange phenomena and bizarre, sometimes terrifying creatures. Several subsurface lakes have been discovered beneath Antarctica's heavy ice cover. These findings seem almost impossible but were first revealed by radar surveys in the 1970s, which identified about 400 lakes buried under 2 miles of ice. Scientists believe these lakes originated when Antarctica separated from the ancient supercontinent Gondwanaland. The immense weight of the ice sheets prevents the lakes from freezing. One such lake, Deep Lake in East Antarctica, is so salty that its water remains unfrozen, even in extreme cold. Its environment is hostile to most life forms, but microscopic organisms thrive there. Penguins, for instance, are at risk of death if they enter this lake due to its extremely low temperatures. In 2012, Russian researchers drilled through over 2 miles of ice to reach Lake Vostok, the largest subglacial lake in Antarctica. The samples they retrieved contained what appeared to be extraterrestrial life forms, which seemed plausible given the lake's isolation for millions of years. They discovered a unique bacterium that was genetically unrelated to any known bacteria on Earth. However, skeptics argued that the samples were contaminated by drilling fluids. When researchers returned to the site in 2015 for further studies, doubts persisted. In 2016, another subglacial lake with the potential to support entirely unique life forms was discovered beneath the Antarctic ice sheet, further deepening the intrigue surrounding these hidden ecosystems. Another strange phenomenon in Antarctica is Blood Falls, a striking red, 5-story cascade that flows from Taylor Glacier into Lake Borgne. Discovered in 1911 by an Australian geologist, this crimson flow puzzled scientists for decades. Research has since revealed that the waterfall is fed by a saline lake trapped beneath the glacier. The water is 3 times as salty as seawater and has been sealed off from the atmosphere for centuries. Its high salinity prevents it from freezing, even in the frigid Antarctic conditions. The eerie red color comes from iron-rich water oxidizing when it comes into contact with the air, creating a surreal and mysterious sight in the middle of the snow-covered landscape. The ocean, despite being abundant in iron, lacks oxygen and sunlight. When iron in the water comes into contact with air, it oxidizes and rusts, turning the water a deep red color. This phenomenon occurs as the water seeps through cracks in the glacier. Researchers eventually traced the reddish tint to an underground lake containing oxidized iron, located not far from the waterfalls. This remote and peculiar location in the Ross Sea can only be accessed by helicopter or cruise ship. Antarctica, despite being a frozen wasteland with rare rain, fierce winds, and temperatures plunging to -129 degrees Fahrenheit, hosts a wide range of rare and exotic plant and animal species. Scientists have been astounded by the bizarre creatures that have adapted to the extreme conditions beneath the vast ice sheets. These include microbes, crustaceans, enormous squid, dinnerplate-sized spiders, and massive worms with golden bristles and sharp jaws. Transparent ice fish, with translucent skin revealing their internal organs, also inhabit this region. These fish possess antifreeze glycoproteins, which prevent them from surviving in warmer temperatures, and they lack hemoglobin, the protein responsible for the red color in human blood. Antarctica, an ancient continent, has undergone immense changes over millions of years. Once a warm and rainy land, it was home to rainforests and possibly even civilizations before becoming a frozen desert after the Ice Age. Fossilized wood, tropical tree evidence, and preserved leaf impressions suggest the existence of extensive rainforests. Fossils of marine life, birds, and dinosaurs from the Cretaceous era have been discovered, along with beetle wings from a species that lived 14 to 20 million years ago. Single-celled fossils have sparked debate among experts, while the discovery of 50-million-year-old sperm cells in a worm species egg case has excited scientists, potentially offering fresh evolutionary insights. Beneath Antarctica's immense ice sheets lies a massive mountain range shrouded in mystery. The Gamburtsev Mountains stretch 750 miles, with peaks exceeding 10,000 feet in elevation, hidden beneath 2,000 to 4,000 meters of ice. Discovered by Russian explorers in 1958 and named after Soviet geophysicist Grigory Gamburtsev, this range remains unseen by human eyes but has been mapped using radar and investigated through gravitational and magnetic data. The range resembles the Alps, and its peaks, likely formed from billion-year-old granite, date back to between 250 and 100 million years ago, during the age of dinosaurs. This discovery underscores the enduring mysteries and wonders of our planet. The Gamburtsev's formation and continued existence have long perplexed scientists. These mountains, estimated to be over 1 billion years old, should have eroded away by now. However, they remain intact, and several hypotheses attempt to explain this phenomenon. One popular theory suggests they are protected from the elements by a frozen mantle. In Antarctica, a remarkable natural phenomenon involves a huge chunk of ice making beautiful music. Among the continent's ice shelves, the Ross Ice Shelf stands out, covering an area of nearly 500,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of France, and measuring several hundred feet in thickness. Researchers discovered that winds flowing across the snow dunes on this ice shelf produce an eerie, unsettling tune. These surface vibrations and near-constant seismic tones are inaudible to human ears, so scientists use seismic sensors to capture the sad melody. Interestingly, the music adapts to weather and climate changes, such as snow melting and storms altering the landscape. Scientists are now utilizing this seismic humming to monitor the ice shelf's stability and its susceptibility to collapse in real time. In 2017, Antarctica witnessed the opening of a massive chasm, polynya, the size of Ireland. This event marked the largest polynya observed since the 1970s and the first to appear in 40 years, spanning an area of 30,116 square miles. Its formation is attributed to deeper, warmer, and saltier waters in the Weddell Sea in the Southern Ocean. Ocean currents carry warm water to the surface, melting the top ice layer. As the Antarctic atmosphere dips and cools upon contact with the surface water, it heats up and rises again. Some scientists speculate that marine mammals may use these polynyas as breathing holes, but the full effects of these mysterious formations are still being studied. Despite Antarctica's icy climate, several volcanoes exist on the continent. On Ross Island, 4 volcanoes can be found, 3 of which are dormant. The exception is Mount Erebus, whose volcanic activity has intensified over the past 30 years. This extraordinary natural wonder has been active for approximately 1.3 million years, featuring magma and lava lakes. At 12,467 feet, it is the tallest active volcano in the world and the second highest in Antarctica. Due to its remote location and hazardous weather, Mount Erebus is seldom visited. However, in 2013, a team of scientists successfully ascended the volcano, encountering snow boulders and glacier. During their climb, they discovered life thriving in the extreme heat of the volcano. These rare species were found in ice caves, where soil microorganisms were flourishing. In the year 2000, the Southern Ocean was officially recognized as Earth's 5th ocean. Encircling Antarctica, it is the 4th largest ocean, formed by the southern regions of the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans. Playing a crucial role in driving global ocean circulation, this vast body of water covers an area roughly twice the size of the United States, with a maximum depth of about 23,950 feet. Scientists believe that this enigmatic ocean might hold the key to absorbing carbon emissions, a vital factor in addressing climate change. Researchers have determined that the Southern Ocean has absorbed 15% of all human-caused carbon emissions. While this is a significant amount, it will not continue indefinitely. Researchers are acting quickly to understand why this is happening. Those who choose to travel to Antarctica by ship will cross the Southern Ocean, experiencing the raw power of the sea from the ship's observation decks as they approach the Antarctic Peninsula for the first time. When most people think of a desert, they picture hot, sandy plains. However, Antarctica is actually the largest desert on Earth, with an average annual precipitation of less than 2 inches. The climate is extremely windy, and 99% of the continent is covered in ice. The McMurdo dry valleys are located in the remaining 1% of the land, and within them, enormous sand dunes can be found. These dunes can reach up to 230 feet in height and 656 feet in width. While the dunes may not be suitable for sandboarding, they are of great scientific importance. The dry valleys, with their Martian-like climate, are particularly interesting to scientists searching for clues to extraterrestrial life. However, these dunes are migrating at an alarming rate of about 5 feet per year, which scientists attribute to climate change. The melting of ice and the erosion of the sand dunes are concerns, and before the dunes disappear forever, scientists are racing to unravel the mysteries they hold. One endemic fungal species is among the many microbes and extremophiles found in Antarctica. This fungus has adapted to the extreme cold by feeding on the centuries-old wooden cabins left behind by early explorers. Despite the fact that fungi typically thrive in warm, forested environments, it has been discovered that a new species of fungus is feeding on petroleum leaking from gasoline containers abandoned by explorers. Scientists are intrigued by these unusual organisms because the fungus they produce may one day be used to clean up massive oil spills. Microbes living beneath the Antarctic ice and bacteria found within the ice itself have both been discovered by scientists. Some of the bacteria identified in ice samples are ancient, with some dating back as far as 420,000 years. However, researchers remain uncertain as to whether these organisms represent a functioning ecosystem or simply scattered remnants of life. It is also unclear whether the ice simply preserves the bacteria until the ice melts or if there are active microbial communities within the ice. The potential threat posed by these microorganisms remains a topic of concern, especially as global warming progresses. There is a growing fear that by ignoring the impacts of climate change, we may be unleashing something dangerous, like Pandora's box. In Canada's Abraham Lake, mesmerizing frozen methane bubbles can be found. These bubbles are formed when microorganisms consume organic substances in water, producing methane, a potent greenhouse gas. While these bubbles may appear beautiful when frozen, the release of large quantities of methane could be catastrophic for human civilization. Although methane is currently trapped beneath Antarctic ice, its potential release as glaciers continue to melt could have disastrous consequences. The situation is in our hands, and our actions will determine the outcome. Meteorites are abundant in Antarctica. Although meteorites can fall anywhere on Earth, they are more commonly found in Antarctica due to its dry, freezing climate. Since very few rocks naturally form on Antarctica's ice sheets, the dark meteorites stand out clearly against the bright white surface of the ice. The East Antarctic ice sheet, which has remained motionless for a long time, is particularly fertile ground for meteorite discoveries. This displays the much older ice as well as the enormous meteorite concentrations. Since 1976, scientists have gathered more than 20,000 meteorite samples from space. The largest meteorite recovered in East Antarctica in 25 years was discovered in 2013 by a team of Japanese and Belgian experts. The weight of the alien rock was astounding, coming in at a whopping 40 pounds. Over the course of 40 days, the team looked for meteorites and uncovered 425, totaling 165 pounds. A chunk of Vesta and a Martian meteorite were among the finds. Antarctica has long been the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories due to its mysterious nature. Many individuals think that Antarctica formerly hosted or currently houses extraterrestrial life because of the presence of elongated skulls, weird pyramids, alien spaceships, bizarre constructions, and a massive staircase. Dozens of UFO sightings are reported each year, and Google Earth has caught what many believe to be alien activity. Keep your eyes alert for any strange green lights in the sky. This is prime territory for those seeking extraterrestrial intelligence. We know that hundreds of lakes lie dormant beneath the Antarctic ice, but what if there's more? Is it possible to envision a city buried beneath the Antarctic ice? Antarctica is still a mystery since no one has ever explored its depths. The legendary city of Atlantis is thought to lie frozen beneath kilometers of ice. People have speculated that the frozen continent holds the Atlantean capital, since Antarctica was as warm as Los Angeles is now and would have been an ideal location for a city. It is not unreasonable to assume that people once lived there. The last ice age, which froze the continent solid, put a halt to any civilization that may have developed there. Therefore, it is possible that some sort of society existed in Antarctica before the Ice Age, albeit whether or not it was the lost city of Atlantis is unknown. After the Ice Age buried the continent, the city would have been forgotten. However, it would have flourished when Antarctica was a balmy tropical zone. A civilization may have once flourished in Antarctica, but it has not been established that this was the location of the legendary lost city. Some have even speculated that Hitler himself escaped to a hidden hideout in Antarctica's subterranean regions after the war ended. Others believe Hitler did not commit suicide but instead fled to Antarctica, where he oversaw the construction of a base from which Germans would launch lunar missions. Despite the urban legends to the contrary, the Germans did explore Antarctica and establish a secret outpost 960 kilometers from the North Pole. It's no surprise that Hitler explored Antarctica in pursuit of the fabled Spear of Destiny, given his penchant for enigmas. He even sent an expedition to India and Tibet to find it. The Nazi base in Antarctica didn't last long, its people perished after eating poison polar bears 70 years ago. Despite the hypothesis being debunked, curiosity about Antarctica's hidden depths remains high. The Great White Continent is the planet's most mysterious and unexplained region, and despite the best efforts of scientists everywhere, we may never uncover all of its mysteries. Thanks for watching another episode of Voyager. While you're still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more mind-blowing videos about space.